Have you ever watched a clip or stream where the streamer's voice is overpowered by the rest of the audio?
Not quickly.
I'm definitely guilty of being that streamer, and it can be so embarrassing to realize my audience can't hear my epic commentary. Well actually, there's an easy way to make the game audio quieter whenever you talk. If you're crazy enough to make music, you already know this is sidechaining. But it's also known as ducking, because the game audio ducks down whenever you start talking and goes back up when you stop. It's an easy tool that's built into OBS to help make room for your voice when speaking over music and games. But fiddling around with the backend can be pretty intimidating for small streamers just starting out. I mean, you could just read the instructions from the OBS website, but I can't read, because I'm a penguin. Man, I really wish there was a video tutorial on sidechaining. Oh hey, a video tutorial on sidechaining. First, we want to add a filter called a compressor onto the audio track that we want to do the ducking. In my case, I just add it straight to the desktop audio. Click the gear at the bottom or the right side of the track and select filters from the pop-up menu. This brings up the filter window, where we can easily add reality bending effects. Just click this plus and select compressor from the pop-up menu. There's going to be a lot of pop-up menus. According to OBS, a compressor is very useful if your source, typically a microphone, is set for a normal level, but can sometimes spike louder due to impromptu shouting or getting into heated discussions.
So you left me? My own family couldn't stand me anymore? No, you're wrong! Damn it, what the f-
Ultimately, it reduces the spread, or the dynamic range, of the audio signal to make it a little bit more manageable. Once we add the compressor, we get overwhelmed by a bunch of sliders that, to be honest, sound kinda scary. Attack? I didn't know OBS was a weapon. Okay, so it's not a weapon, just a powerful tool. So, let's define some terms before messing with forces more powerful than our own. Ratio is the amount of gain reduction to apply to the signal whenever you start talking. For example, 2:1 will be weak compression, while 6:1 will be much stronger compression. It reduces the spread, which makes the audio quieter. We'll want to balance this out with our mic levels. I like to set mine to a modest 19:1. Mainly because I still like to have some game audio while I'm talking. Kinda fills in the void, you know? However, OBS recommends 32:1, which almost completely removes the game audio. Alright, I guess I, a little child, I'm gonna start digging. Well, especially with quiet games. Threshold refers to how loud the mic level has to be before the game audio starts ducking. Once the signal reaches this level, the compressor will begin to apply the compression at the set ratio. When the levels are below the threshold, the ratio is 1:1, which translates to no gain reduction. I set this to -36, which is usually where my mic levels are. Attack is how quickly, in milliseconds, you want the compressor to reach full gain reduction when levels exceed the threshold, while release is how quickly you want the compressor to return to 0 gain reduction after the levels go back down. For reference, 1 second equals 1000 milliseconds. What? Phil? A forgotten girl with no family or cat will die when the moon arrives. What do you mean? Whoa. Whoa!
Damn it, what the fuck?
We'll set these to 100 milliseconds, 1/10 of a second, for the attack and 600 milliseconds for the release, which is a little over half a second. Output gain isn't going to be used on this track, but it's definitely a good idea for adding compression onto the mic track. When you compress a signal, it typically ends up quieter, which reduces your average level. Applying output gain brings the average level of the source back up, which can help improve its presence over top other audio sources. We'll keep this at 0 for now, or -10 if you're playing Hotline Miami. This next menu is the key to what we're trying to do here, and is conveniently labeled for us. Here, we can tell the compressor which track to reference when adding the compression. For example, when we set the source to our mic, The compressor will turn on whenever the mic level exceeds the threshold we had set, -36. Now, instead of being drowned out by the game audio, your voice will pierce through the bog of sounds to reach your audience.
He walked in front of my bullet! How many shots does this thing fucking need? Don't walk in front of my bullet. God damn it! Fluffy!
All you have to do is play around with the settings to fit your setup, and just like that, you're a pro VTuber. By adding this simple tool to your streams, you'll have one less thing to worry about. In my case, it's those infuriating mouse clicks. Not that kind of expander, you. As I started my streaming journey, I quickly realized how terrible my mic is, by which I mean it's so amazing that it picks up everything. The computer fan, the air conditioner, those annoying mouse clicks. So, which filter do you think we should use to suppress those noises? Noise suppressor? Nope, wrong, you're a bad streamer. Banned for life. We actually want to add the expander. Why? I don't know. I went into debt for film school, not audio school. Did you know you can get a PhD in audio? I could have been a doctor. From what I can gather, it's like the opposite of a compressor. If a compressor lowers the volume when you get too loud, then an expander lowers the volume of the mic when you're not loud enough, so the fridge isn't getting picked up all the time. The big benefit over using this versus the noise suppressor is having a softer transitional fade of the effect, whereas the noise suppressor has a harsher cutoff. We'll start by opening the filter dock for the mic track, just like we did for the desktop audio. When we click the plus sign, let's choose expander from the pop-up menu. This will show us the same sliders that the compressor has, but the expander has two unique options, presets and detection. The two presets let you choose between whether it acts more. The presets let you choose between whether, look. All you need to know about the presets is that the expander gives you a softer transition, which is what we're here to do in the first place. So I'm just going to set it to that. Now we have to figure out what detection to choose. The peak option is more rigid, by stopping the noise reduction as soon as the threshold is reached, even if you're not talking. That means that clicks of my mouse will quickly turn off the noise reduction, and you'll hear everything. What's going on here? However, the RMS detection will only turn off the noise reduction if the threshold is exceeded for more than 10 milliseconds. This will prevent quick bursts of sound from peeking through. Before we wrap up, here are some suggestions from OBS to give you a good starting point with the expander. Set your ratio to 4:1, which translates to about 40% gain reduction. For your threshold, figure out the decibel level for every noise you're trying to suppress, and set the threshold to the highest decibel level of that set. For me, it was the armrest on my chair at about -50, but since my voice registers around -40, I set my threshold a little bit higher to about -45, just in case. Set the attack between 5 and 10 milliseconds, and release between 50 and 120 milliseconds. Finally, output gain can stay at 0, but can be used to increase your voice volume if you want. And it's pretty much just like Hades, except a lot more queer and a lot more colorful. I'll have to show you one day. But for now, I need to finish my therapy session. Hopefully this tutorial didn't get too complicated. Did this video help you out? Could I have elaborated more on something? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to leave a like if you did find something helpful. You can also subscribe if you want your feed to become infected with utter chaos. Okay, hopefully that got me to 10 minutes to please the algorithm. Thanks for watching to the end. Have a great day. Oh, wait, I also have a BandCamp.